like to welcome everyone to our latest episode of New Homeowner 101. And in this episode, we're actually going to do a two-part episode series all about the subject of window blinds. So in these two episodes, we want to talk about basically some of the challenges there are to choosing window blinds, what to think about when choosing window blinds, and some of the factors that are involved, some of the factors we encountered but we really didn't expect. So hopefully maybe this might be of some value to you as perhaps you're looking to buy your first home, or maybe you have bought your first home and maybe you're running into the same obstacles we did. So let's talk about what happened when we bought our new home. What was one of the first things we realized about window blinds? Natalie?
That most homes don't come with them.
Yeah, that was a little surprising. Even when we toured some houses, I guess we never really noticed as we're touring houses that pretty much none of them had window blinds. But then when you move in, obviously there's kind of one important factor, right?
That you need them, especially in the bedroom or the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Or, your neighbors are going to get to know you very quickly. So that was one thing that we recognized very quickly, was that we needed window blinds. So then I know for us, we then decided, okay, so what window blinds do we need to get? Now there's tons of different options as far as window blinds are concerned. I made a list of just a few of them, just so that we don't miss any of them. But obviously there is the typical Venetian blinds. Mm-hmm. See them everywhere. But there are also vertical blinds. I know a lot of times you see those on like big, glass doors. Maybe your back patio, you've got those big long window blinds. There's something called Roman shades. Mm-hmm. There's roller blinds.
Yeah.
I also noticed there's something new now, plantation shutters.
Yeah.
Those are new. They're very nice.
Mm-hmm.
People like them. Then there are cellular honeycomb shades. Mm-hmm. We'll talk a little bit about those later.
Sure.
And then there are motorized blinds.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Natalie, you can walk us through kind of our decision process on why we chose to go with the blinds we went with.
Well, mainly because I feel like we've experienced using the type of blinds that we chose before we lived in the house, and we really liked them because they're not all that expensive and they're easy to use. So, and I think I think they look nice too. While you could go with like a wood blind, that's a little nicer, but these just easy to replace and easy to install too. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we've rented a lot of apartments.
Right.
And we had Venetian blinds.
Yeah.
Plenty.
And they get really dusty.
Oh, they do.
They get really dusty and they make a lot of noise, especially if they're the metal ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, we didn't like, and they can break too.
Yeah, they break and bend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just didn't like that look.
Mm-mm.
So obviously we wanted to find something that was a good middle ground.
Right.
Something that wasn't like inexpensive like a Venetian blind,
yeah.
but something not overly expensive that
right.
obviously we couldn't afford it.
Right.
So as you can see, for those of you watching us on YouTube, we chose the cellular honeycomb shades, which are very nice. You can just push them up, pull them down, and they're very nice like that. Now, as with the cellular shades and with many of the other types of window blinds that you're going to look at, there are some other factors that you need to be aware of. Mm-hmm. And so here are just a few of them that even we didn't fully understand until we started digging into what window blinds to purchase and
Mm-hmm.
install. But first and foremost, you need to understand about lighting control. So obviously, a lot of the blinds that you look at will have the ability to be blackout blinds, while others are light filtering. So they're
Mm-hmm.
going to let some light in.
Yeah.
Also, something to consider is privacy. So you may decide on some of your windows that, you know what, maybe we don't even need a blind.
Right.
Um, we decided that on, I think, just one of our windows.
Yeah, not at first. At first, we thought we could just do a few and it would be fine, but
True.
but we realized that at night, because we're around a lot more homes, and streets that people drive on, that it's possible they could see it at night, and it felt more comfortable to put them on those other windows. So we only have one window that doesn't have a blind because we felt like that one just didn't really need it.
It's in our kitchen.
Yeah, above our sink.
Right above our sink. So,
Faces the backyard.
you know, no one can see anything except us washing dishes or cooking dinner. So, nothing really to see there. So, privacy concerns are definitely something that you want to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Now, style and color.
Yeah, that was hard. There are a lot of colors and styles.
Right. So, even in the blinds that we looked at, there was white, there was
a huge book of all different colors, but there are only some that are like actually at the store, and then if you want a specific color, there was the option to order, but that was going to take way too long.
Exactly. That's a really good point. So we got ours at Lowe's. And so at Lowe's, there's a large book that you basically can go through and choose whatever color you want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as Natalie pointed out, though, if you wanted a unique color, you would have to order them. That takes a while.
It took longer than what we needed. Had we realized that, we could have done it earlier, but we didn't realize that until later. But I have to say the white are nice because we already have some grays in our home, so the white go really well.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, which is Inside Out Express Home Services. So if you live in the Piedmont Triad area, which is Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point, we want to recommend Inside Out. Inside Out has over 40 different handyman and cleaning services that you can find on their website, which is insideoutexpress.com. You can browse through their selection of services, and what's really unique about Inside Out is that you can get a quote online on their website. All you need to do is just put in the information about your home and about the services you need, and they give you an instant quote. If you like the price, just go ahead and book it. Book it right there. You pick the day and time that you'd like their service providers to come and do the work. It's super easy. Go ahead and try it on insideoutexpress.com. So then there's also material choice, and that has to do a lot with what Natalie alluded to earlier, and that goes with upkeep and cleaning. So some window blinds are almost like dust magnets, so they're going to draw dust to them and hold on to the dust, while others are easier to clean.
Yeah.
Some are more durable than others. Now the cellular ones, they are very nice, but I guess one drawback to the material is that they could get damaged very easily because it is a fabric.
Yeah, that's true.
Of sorts. So that's something for you to consider. I know a lot of couples with children, they might opt to go with something that's a little bit more durable, like a plantation shutter, because they know that, children could wreck things. I know with Venetian blinds, even as a kid, I think I probably tore some of those apart.
Yeah. And those get stained too really easily. I know in our last place that they did, and it can be hard. It's very hard to clean them without damaging them. Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's another consideration. This is one that we considered with these, is with budget. So with budget, there are two different options. One is ready-made options and then custom. So we encountered that at Lowe's because at Lowe's they had one brand that essentially they needed to cut the blinds to fit your window. And so that essentially was a more expensive option.
Right.
But then we opted to get a less expensive option. They were not custom, they were ready made. They came in sizes.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to dig into this a little bit more in our next episode. But essentially, we had to measure each one of our windows to then buy the ready made window blind for that size window.
Right. Yeah. And we also noticed that a lot of them are really long too, but we've learned that it doesn't really matter how long it is.
Yeah, good point. Especially on these cellular type of, it could really stretch down further to the floor, but we just have it sit on the windowsill. There is another consideration here about energy efficiency. So certain blinds, they really block out the sun a lot.
Right.
And so that can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. So if it's blocking out the sun in the summertime, that is good. It's going to keep your house cool.
Right.
But in the wintertime, it's going to prevent your home from warming up.
Right. Yeah, that's so true.
So you have to choose your blinds also when you think about energy efficiency. Is perhaps a certain room, do you need it to warm up, or do you need it to cool down? So that's another consideration. Okay, well, I know this is a bit of a short episode. We're just talking about all of the different window blind options. In our next episode, we're going to talk a little bit more about how to install window blinds and basically all the things that you need to do with that. And we're also going to touch on in that episode why it's so important to maintain your window blinds, keep them clean, but also maintain them and to improve your home's functionality. So we want to thank everyone for joining us for this episode, and we hope you join us for our next episode.
All right, see you next time.
All right, take care.